Nearly 1,000 ultra-Orthodox Jews have held a protest outside the Israeli embassy in London. Now, demonstrators said that the biggest threat to Judaism is Israel itself.
The street outside Israel's embassy in London has been a regular meeting point for demonstrators showing solidarity with Palestinians, particularly since Israel's 22-day war on Gaza. But this time it was the turn of hundreds of members of the ultra-Orthodox Jewish community to protest. They believe that Zionism and Judaism are two distinct and incompatible schools of thought. The hundreds of ultra-Orthodox Jews who've gathered here go as far as to say that Israel itself is a source of Jewish suffering and anti-Semitism. The main concern at this rally was what the organisers described as the destruction of a thousands of years old burial ground of Jewish sages. The site is being bulldozed to make way for a commercial development with the permission of the Israeli government.
Over the last few weeks, in fact the last few months, the Israeli government have commissioned a program of digging up graves of ancient Jewish cemeteries. That is a very serious concern for religious people, religious Jews in particular, worldwide and in Israel. There's another concern is about the denial of the freedom of speech for people in Israel to demonstrate and voice their concerns, their objections to such acts on religious grounds.
And you're talking about the digging up of graves. What is the Israeli government, why are they doing it? What's their justification?
They cite a number of justifications. There's a number of cemeteries. In one particular case, they want to do a car park which is adjacent to a hospital, and they say that that will bring revenues and make easier for visitors to the hospital. That may well be right, but that cannot be at the cost of our sages resting in peace, who have been there for many, many years.
But those at the gathering argued that this behaviour is just a symptom of Israel's general attitude towards religion and Orthodox Jewish teachings. They believe that Israeli society doesn't represent Judaism, and Israel's very existence is against the teachings of the Torah.
We believe that the time will come when Messiah will come, that is when the Jewish people will go back to Jerusalem. But we will not do that by force, we will not do that by an army. We have no entitlement to kill others for our ambitions. Jewish people are considered from a religious point of view to be Jewish. We have no rights over other people. We have no right to tell others what to do or where to go. Jewish people are religiously Jewish, that we have a code of conduct, how we behave. That's not to say that we can tell Palestinian people or any other people where they should go or what they should do.
True Judaism has absolutely nothing in common with the state of Israel. They do not represent us and we do not believe in them. Any act done by them has nothing to do with Jews. We're actually not demonstrating against singular acts of atrocities and brutality done by the so-called state of Israel against its Jewish nation. We're actually demonstrating against the actual existence. The whole idea of Zionism is against the Jewish belief. There should be no such a thing as the Israeli state. The name Israel has been stolen from the Bible. The proof of that is that everything they do, all the acts, it's not just acts of brutality. They are aimed at uprooting the Jewish belief, the belief in God, not just from the Jewish people, from the whole world. It is true that many of these things which they have done is an outcome of that. Proof is they have arrested mothers and fathers of young children because they do not want to educate the children in the Zionistic belief. They want to do it in the true tradition. It's true that now they're doing everything they can to uproot every single burial ground they can lay their hands on to show that they do not believe in the internal of the soul. They do not believe in spirituality. They will many times use religious symbols such as the name Israel or the Star of David on the flag to show as if they're presenting the Jewish nation. Because without religion, what is the Jewish nation? Nothing. Therefore, they're using everything they can, every single religious sign to pretend they represent us. But nothing can be further from the truth.
The Orthodox Jews here in London also claimed that their friends in Israel were being mistreated by the authorities for holding similar protests and wanted to leave Israel to seek asylum elsewhere.
The Zionist government are not allowed to take away our rights, that we are considered now as refugees and people who are looking for asylum in all over the world.
The Jews against Zionism do accept that in today's world they hold a minority view amongst the Jewish community. Most Jewish sects support Israel, and some pro-Israeli passers-by were furious at the anti-Zionist display.
Why do you do that? You are not Jewish. They're making their own problems. No, you are making the problems.
The gathering, although attended by close to 1,000 people, was largely ignored by the British media. But the protest follows similar larger actions in the US during a recent visit by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Hassan Ghani, Press TV, London.
I'd like to welcome my guest for this part of the program, Jews Against Zionism, Rabbi Moshe Meyer Sterngold. Thank you so much for being with us from London. And from the Christian Israel Action Committee, Calvin B. Hubert from Maryland by phone. Again, thank you both for being with us. Rabbi, I'd like to start off with you. Why are you protesting against Israel exactly?
Well, we are protesting against the Zionist state because our voice should be heard all over the world. Our voice that we are giving for the last 62 years and is completely ignored by the whole Western world, that the Zionist movement, the Zionist idea, was diametrically opposed to the whole Jewish belief, all Jewish basics, to the whole Jewish religion, the denial of the existence of God. They took by force and by power, by way of terrorism, they took over the power to represent the whole Jewish nation in a falsely way. They are not our representative. They can't represent a religious nation that had a past from thousands of years.
Rabbi, let me stop you right there. Rabbi, there are many people actually in the world now who think that basically Judaism and Zionism is one. So how do you explain this, that you're saying that there are two separate entities? Can you elaborate on exactly what you mean, please?
Well, the whole Zionist idea is based on a secular constitution, or the total denial of the Torah, the Jewish teachings, and the way from the Jews for the last thousands of years. Not only this is the total denial, but they want by force to convert the all Jewish religious beliefs, people who believe all over the world, to the new Zionist secular teachings, to transfer a peaceful nation, to make them a political nation with ambitions of power and aggression. This is a total denial of our past and the all Jewish beliefs and teachings.